So he's found himself a tiger snake, and he knows he married a snake wrangler for a reason. So while he's basking in his glory, I quietly slipped the half-alive snake into his truck.
How snipers! Welcome to Not For Radio, especially if you're new. This is how we roll. Caution, this podcast will contain some swearing. I am your host, Duncan Hyde. That is also another host. His name's Jay Reeves. Showboss Teague's here as well.
Yeah, she's sitting in the cuck chair silently, which we need a camera on, and we'll get around to that.
Teagues, I just saw you delete a note out of there, but if people were having issues with the podcast, what do they need to know there?
If you message us and let us know, just be real specific about where you are watching the podcast and how you watch it. So do you listen on your phone, and do you listen through Apple, YouTube, Spotify, just so we can work out if it's an issue on one particular platform or if it's all of them.
Have we been having issues?
Yeah, just apparently the ads are coming in really loud, but we can't work out if it's the ads are too loud, which we don't place, or if we just need to boost up our volume. But at the moment, it seems like it's Apple only.
Okay.
But it could be Spotify, could be YouTube.
We'll do a post in the Snipers Nightmare Facebook group, and just we'll get a little bit of feedback on that. So if you want to help us out, that'd be awesome. A big old podcast today. A bloke that was poisoned by his partner.
Yep, replacing movie titles with the word wank. Pranking people with poisonous snakes.
The old danger noodles. They'll bloody get you. I'll give you a rundown on the
how many
house
shits
move.
he can have at one time in his house.
Oh, man. I just wish I had more bum holes. So much room for shitting in my new place.
The joys of a walking pad. The lies that you told during your childhood and school. Having balls of steel and breaking motorcycles.
And first up, a little bit of a review on the new Mr. Beast burgers. Well, there's a bit of a review. Jay's going to fucking rip Teagues' new arsehole for just eating food.
Just trust me, if you're a food outlet, you need to give Teagues more than a fucking bite to get anything decent out of it.
I think someone around here gave... Yeah, someone around here.
Someone spent their hard-earned money on the burger and said, would you like a
That's
bite?
what
And I
Mr.
said,
Beast
absolutely.
needs is more money.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Well, there's a hip, hop, hippity hip hop, oh bollocks. Fuck it, not for radio.
Just quickly, we were chatting off here. Teagues, what's the Beast? Someone said Mr. Beast Burgers joint just down the road.
Yeah, so Mr. Beast, who is has got the largest YouTube following on the planet, and I really, really, really enjoy his model. I don't necessarily enjoy his content, but I really enjoy his model. He's very philanthropic with what it is that he does. He pumps shitloads of money back into doing really cool stuff, and I'm into it. MD Motivator is another one who does a really good job as well of basically finding people to help and then crowdsourcing ways of helping people out, which I enjoy that.
So is Chocky go any good, and do his burgers go any good?
Chocolate is quite delicious because my kids are obviously into that shit as well, or into what he makes, should I say, or into him just because it's Mr. Beast. The Mr. Beast, I had it explained to me, is like our Hulk Hogan. Yep. And so when somebody said it to me like that, I'm like, man, that makes sense. Hulk Hogan comes out with fucking anything and you're 11 years old, put me down for 6.
Yeah, give me 8 lunch boxes.
What would normally happen is we're too poor for it. So one of the rich kids, a.k.a. Tony Lockhead, would get it, and then we'd go and steal it off him. I'm just kidding. We didn't do that. A couple people did. Okay. So now his burgers are here. Showboss Teagues has had a hoon on one.
I had a bite of one.
Thoughts, feelings, emotions?
I thought it was fine. Like the price tag for it versus going somewhere like...
Okay, so this is the thing with food critiquing, is that you should never ever factor into it price. Never factor into it, because you're eating something. Was it an enjoyable experience? Did it taste delicious? Was it something that you've never had before?
She had half a fucking bite, mate.
I had one bite. Also, it's my opinion, so shut up.
People go, it's fucking $87. You know what you could buy for $80? I didn't give a fuck. Was it delicious?
Yeah.
There's going to be an episode where Jay just talks the whole time. We just react. You can tell. He hasn't shut up once. And we've only been going for like 2 minutes.
He hasn't been bending. It's fucking sped him up.
No, it's a problem.
It was fine. Did it taste unique? Nah. It's just a burger.
Very, very hard to change the game when it comes to cheeseburgers.
Yes.
Hard to do a cheeseburger well.
Well, there's a cheese toaster you can get, a cheeseburger, a chicken burger. There's all these different burgers, but it's a pop-up and it's takeaway only. So it's actually housed in a cafe at the back, and you can either go order on the screen like how you would at most other fast food places, or you can order on like DoorDash or Uber Eats.
Let's get it tomorrow for lunch, and we'll do a review on the podcast.
Well, not for bloody $18 a burger. Fuck 'em.
No, yeah, show card is that a thing?
I was just in terms of the burger game being changed when the smash burger finally arrived in New Zealand, because we'd never had it. You would have had it you would have had it overseas, and you go, fuck, it's delicious, and then it finally gets here.
How fucking backwards are we? We didn't have a smash burger. All you do is fucking squash the patty flat when you cook it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, nah, too fancy. Won't do that. We'll wait until they get it right first before we bring it into the masses.
Oh, it's like the people that go, well, the only thing we put in our patties is salt and pepper. Fuck off. You can throw that thing like a discus and it won't fucking break apart.
Yeah, the fact that you can leave on your back seat after it's cooked for 5 years and then fucking put it in the microwave still tastes the same. Something else going on there.
We ain't mad at it, but anywho. Hey, I got this message and I'd like to read it out.
Mm-hmm.
From Taylor Detling. Taylor Detling. We're doing great with names, and we'll get to that a little bit later in the podcast. I was sent through to me, and I didn't read it. I just saved it. So this could go anywhere. So apologies in advance if it is offensive. Okay.
Are you going to what happens if it's shit?
Oh, fuck, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Don't want to edit it out, mate. Let's keep it in.
Okay, here's a yarn for you fellas. When I was about 5, I had a 50cc Honda motorbike, and on this motorbike, my dad built training wheels for it. So when I asked him to take them off, my push bike about a week earlier, he took them off my motorbike too. Yeah, okay. See, this has the makings of a great story.
Mm-hmm.
The day off I had, I rode my motorbike, and I was a bit nervous because I'd never rode without training wheels before, and in a paddock of which I was riding, after a few laps, I wanted to go a bit faster around the corner. So of course, full speed I went, fast as the 50cc engine could go, fully fucking pinned, technical term. When approaching the corner, I applied brake pressure, but my enemy, my brain, decided, I don't mind if you get hurt today.
Oh, you fucker, you failed me.
Imagine.
Today we're working on resilience.
Imagine that if you have a 49% stake in your brain and it has the deciding 1%. Yeah, that's great. So straight into the fence I went until I hit the fucking thing with a sudden stop. My body slid forward where my old fella broke off the fuel cap. Oh, fuck.
Oh! Why?
My old fella, a.k.a. my penis, broke off the fuel cap and turned my nutsack purple for a couple of days. Even with full riding gear, I remain to say anything can hurt your nutsack. Still after that event, when I was year 8, I bragged about having fucking balls of steel and smashing my bike up with my nuts. You guys are fucking legends. Keep at what you're doing and up the fucking wires.
Man, as a kid, if you just find anything to brag about, even if it's almost castrating yourself on a fucking petrol cap.
See these things? Yeah, my nuts. Broke a fucking motorbike.
You could do it. Want to come around to my house, try?
What do you remember lying about something as a kid to just elevate your status? Because there would have been the classic one-up game, which adults do in weird situations. Did you ever lie about
absolutely
pashing a chick or like finger blasting someone in the sand dunes or one of those weird statusy things as a young buck that you completely didn't do?
Nah, tricky to get away with that when, like, if the person's from your school, going to a co-ed, you couldn't lie about that shit.
Yeah.
It'd be like, no, I fucking did. You'd be like, yeah. Like, they keep you in check, which is good. Now, I remember lying. So when Adidas 3-stripe stirrup pants in the early 90s came in, remember those?
Yeah.
So Mum sewed me a pair because we were on Struggle Street.
Because you could get a 2-striper.
Yeah.
Or you could get a 4.
Yeah.
It wasn't a 3.
Yeah, Mum sewed the 4.
Yeah.
And I...
Oh, no, did she get the 4 and unpick the 4th stripe?
Nah.
Sewed one on.
She just fucked it up.
Yeah.
And so she got the patch. We always just go to the buddy, what's the shop you call? They sell rolls of material.
Spotlight.
So, yeah. You can always just go to like a version of Spotlight. And
fabric store.
And so Mum would always be like, "Oh, I want some new shorts," and she'd pull out the pattern on some new shorts. You're like these ones got pockets on the sides, and I'm like, "Oh, I like pockets." And then I'd get to go and choose my material, and then she'd make them from scratch. So I was like, I think my older sister got some of those stirrup pants.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, fuck, I'm gonna get some of those as well. Mum's like, no, you're not. And I was like, oh, I really want some. She's like, I'll sew you them. And then so she sews them, and I'm away at school for the day, and come home, she's finished, she's all pumped and gives them to me, and they got fucking 4 stripes on them. I'm like, oh, can't wear these to school. And then so I just lied.
Imagine the heartbreak that your mum would have felt putting like a whole day into it.
Oh, well,
and then
20 minutes. She's a fucking wizard on the Benina or whatever it was.
She's pretty much a 7-year-old kid out of somewhere in Asia.
Well, age 10, I was making all my clothes. Fucking hell of a teacher. So then I lied. So I turned up and I was like, I need to think of a story here. And then, so I just lied and said that's the new ones from Adidas coming out with 4 stripes. Like,
Next
no,
season,
not.
bitch.
I was like, you wait, man. These are from overseas.
Because there was, when I was a kid, there wasn't any of that overseas influence. Not many people went on holiday, particularly at our school. We were a rural-based school. There's only probably 2 families that had been overseas. I had my mate George Scott Toft. His dad was a soundy boom operator with Peter Jackson. And so he would travel quite a bit, and he'd bring him back real flash shit from the States, which is really, really cool.
I remember my when I was friends with 2 tubby twins. And one of them, well, actually, they both got starter jackets. His old man had a sunglasses company or something, and he went overseas, came back, and got the big, puffy starter jackets. And fuck, one of the brothers got a Mighty Ducks one around the time it came out. I was like, holy shit. And they're like, oh, we actually bought it. The older sister didn't want her one. And they're like, oh, do you want it? And it was a Redskins one. And it was so shit.
Really?
Well, compared to their ones, they had like a Raiders one and a Mighty Ducks one. And then I
Redskins
got
ones was, so that for me,
They
it was,
renamed the team. You can't even call them Redskins anymore.
which would make it a fucking great jacket to have now. The Charlotte Hornets big purple one.
The Redskins.
The Charlotte Hornets was another belter.
Oh, yeah.
Chicago Bulls, there or thereabouts. Then the rest of the teams were basically in there. But it was,
Hornets,
in terms of,
man,
yeah, they were
100%.
amazing. My uncle lived in Detroit, Michigan, and I didn't see him very often. So when he'd come back, he'd bring back all sorts of American shit, and he brought me back a Buffalo Bills NFL helmet, which would have been, I don't know, something that he probably had floating around. And I said to him, man, where'd you get this from? And he goes, I played for them. What? And I was like, what the fuck? That's amazing. So sick. So I took it to school, basically wear it on the school bus like a full spud. Like, oh, what are you looking at? My cool helmet. Yeah, it's my uncle's. He plays for Buffalo Bills.
You got a fucking real NFL helmet.
Yeah, and so
that is the shit dreams are made of as a kid.
I know. And so I turned up, and this is pre-internet, so there's no fact checking it at all. And he said it like I did, like I say everything in jest with predominant bullshit wrapped around it. And he's never played in fucking the Buffalo Bills. He had a helmet. He just bought a helmet like anyone else could buy a helmet.
I had a kid. By the way, on the subject of Detroit, I thought you were going to bring up the Pistons. Have they got the laziest logo in American sports?
What is it? It's just a basketball?
Look, what do? We play basketball. Well, let's put our name in a basketball. You go, hey.
Iconic. You'd think it would be a piston. Like a skull and crossbones or something, 2 pistons or something.
Yeah.
Something. Detroit Motor City, I imagine. But
one of the kids at my school had, at primary school, his name was probably still is Ryan. He actually ended up moving to Canada, but his mum was a solo parent. His dad apparently knocked his mum up over in Canada or in America somewhere, and so this is the yarn he told. He was a wrestler, like a second-tier wrestler. And so he was mates with like Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan and stuff. His dad, but his estranged dad, because he was over there and they're obviously in New Zealand or whatever. So they would bring out these photos and they'd be like, yeah, man, that's him there. This badass-looking motherfucker who didn't quite make the top-tier WWF. But I called bullshit on it for so long that eventually they unpacked some boxes on the fucking roof or something like that. And sure enough, his old man is there with fucking Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan. I'm like, this went up in my books.
Want to hang out now?
Yeah.
Kids are ruthless. I was talking to my parents about it. They were up a couple of weeks back to watch my nephew in the Rankin Cup final. And I don't understand how, and we've probably spoken about this before, like my mum was that too. My mum was exactly like your mother, that would go to the equivalent, like a fabric store. And for those people that don't know, you used to buy pattern kits. It could be a pattern for anything. It could be a knitting pattern for a jersey, or a fucking pattern to make a jacket or a suit or a pair of pants, whatever. And they'd have kids ones. And so you go and sift through all the patterns and go, pull it out. Well, do you want some long pants with the fucking cargo pocket? Sure thing. You'd buy the elastic, and you'd buy the fabric, and you'd buy the cotton, which then you'd wind onto the bobbin, and then you'd sit there and you'd pattern the thing up and you'd make these fucking pants. Like, my mum was a kindergarten teacher, was helping my dad on the farm, would do predominantly most of the making of our stuff through winter, which is probably the fucking, not the least busiest time, but it's a hectic time on farm anyway. And run us as well. And then Dad would be farming all day, and then he'd come home and he built like fucking, I would say, hundreds of meters of rock wall, like moving dirt by barrow loads and fucking building gardens and all sorts of shit. And I was like, how did you manage to fit all of that in? Like,
I think I know. It's just,
they didn't have Instagram.
Have you heard of methamphetamine?
And
no sleep till Christmas.
Yeah, but they didn't. That was the other thing, because I was like, how could it be cheaper for you to make us clothes than it is to fucking buy them? And that is the era in which they work. Like, imagine being at a point where you're like, my only option is to spend time making this for my kid.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's complete opposite now.
I was having not an argument, but Anna, my wife, was telling me about how she's like, oh, I made a fucking boob tube out of some denim jeans or something, made a full Britney Spears style Justin Timberlake setup. I was like, fuck off. Because she just dropped off our kids' pants to get a button sewn on them.
Button done.
A fucking button. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how much does it cost? And she goes, the lady was that disgusted she didn't charge me. It's like, how do you not know how to sew a fucking button on? She's like, I know how to sew a button on. I was like, I could have sewn the button on. She's like, yeah, but you didn't. I was like, I didn't fucking know that the button was missing.
I've been asked.
Yeah, like,
let me get out my banana and the bobbin.
Well, it's a fucking needle thread scenario. And she's like, you say it like it's that easy. What the fuck do you know about sewing? I made, when I first moved to Auckland, we got invited to this Sky TV, which was like the cable TV channel here in New Zealand. They had this night, and there was me, Sir Paul Holmes.
One of New Zealand's greatest ever broadcasters, if not the greatest.
Epic. And then there might have been like an All Black in the mixer as well. But for whatever reason, they had a whole bunch of people that were a part of the Sky Suite. And it was at Eden Park. And they did this dancing fucking with the stars or something. So they basically gave us these mannequins to dance with, and we had to do like a choreographed dance for the employees of Sky in this big fucking party. And
Fuck, you say yes to weird shit.
Oh, mate, I didn't have a choice. It was like, you're fucking doing it. Anyway,
no.
So over the space of like 2 days, and we worked fucking round the clock to make it, me and this mate of mine, Lix, made a full Blades of Glory orange spandex suit that wrapped over a set of rollerblades and had 3 different flame colours on it for like Michaels or whatever the fucking character was, and danced around. And then I just sat there in spandex smashing red wines and smoking inside a corporate box with Paul Holmes. But we fucking made it. And Anna was like, oh, fucking spandex is easy to sew. I was like,
no, it's not.
It's fucking not easy.
Nah.
And we patterned it off me, like measured, like it was a slick looking suit. It was fucking really, really well done.
I miss that.
You can't even sew a fucking button on nickel and dime on a full suit that I made.
I thought of Anna this morning. Does she still have that walking pad?
Yes.
She does?
Yes.
Does she like it? It's like a mini treadmill you can slide under your couch.
Yeah. Do you want it? Because it doesn't get fucking used at our place.
I knew it. Nah, well, so one of our favourite comedians, I think her name's Victoria Eames, I think her name is. She's very funny. Tom, if you just want to bring up that, and she's just been called out for getting a walking pad. Fuck, she goes to town on them. It's so good.
So the absolute bin who ragged on me for having one of these, right, a walking pad. I shared that I had it, and she sent me a message saying, "Oh, a walking pad! What a disappointment! I thought you liked being in nature." I do fucking like being in nature, Jane. Yeah, I like it very much. I like to erotically place my minge on a tree at every given opportunity. But do you know what else, Jane? Yeah, I've got 2 cunting kids that are in my house 24/7 because they live with me and came out of my vagina. And funny enough, they're not always up for a 2-mile hike around the greenery, so I resort to this because otherwise I'm a fucking human slug.
So Anna does the exact same thing. So she'll be listening to a podcast while walking on that thing, watching some dog shit fucking TV show. She'll be listening to Call Her Daddy whilst watching fucking Real Housewives of shit and getting in, her steps for the day.
Yeah, crazy. I haven't checked out how steps I did yesterday. Must have been out the gate. We did the house move yesterday.
Yeah. So do we have time, and do you feel comfortable about giving everybody your address? Oh, no, then. Fuck whatever. Trust issues.
That's fucking sick. We ran an absolute clinic as far as moving goes. So we did a few runs up like last week or whatever, and we had early access because it's a new build, and so there was mainly just the big stuff left. The movers turned up at 9 o'clock, and then after they left,
because it's a decent distance from where you are.
yeah, it's half an hour away. So
Yeah.
maybe 25 minutes, something like that. And
Which in New Zealand's fucking quite far.
yeah, I'm on the other side of Auckland.
There were people in Texas going, that's how far I got to drive to check my fucking mail.
Yeah, get reception from my phone.
Yeah.
And then, so ran an absolute clinic, all the services stuff hooked up. We had cleaners come through after the movers came through, and the movers were awesome, man. Just 3 lads, and we had heaps of small stuff that I had planned on taking, but they were like, we've got 2 trucks, we've got room. I was like, sweet. So they were taking like shopping bags full of all this shit from our pantry and stuff, like all this real small stuff. So they basically just ripped through. It was mean. And then as we were leaving, I was like, I'm going to boost up and let those guys into a new place. And I was like, Dixie, can you do one swoop? And the cleaners actually arrived real early in the morning, and I was going to have a shower, but they arrived, and I was like, oh, gosh. And then we told them to go away. That part of the story will become relevant later. And so I never ended up having a shower, and what I had planned on doing was having a shower and obviously getting changed. So I just wore the clothes from the day before and just smashed on with it. Anyway, so when we're leaving, I say to Dixie, do one last sweep, make sure we haven't left anything there, and then when the cleaners go, they can just put the gate key in the lockbox sort of thing. Sweet as. Get to our next place, all unloaded it into our place by like about 1:30. Still shit everywhere, but all the big stuff, beds and bedrooms, all the rest of it, and it was mellow. They boosted off. I was like, holy shit. New places, it feels so fucking big compared to our last place. Like maybe, I don't know, 130 square meters bigger. And like, it made me realize for the last like 7 years, we've basically been living in our lounge with like a family of 5 and had some dogs at one point. Like, because, like you're either in the kitchen, which is part of our lounge in our old place, and this place is single level, real big on a 700 square meter section. So could not be fucking happier. The house is everywhere I look, I'm happy. It's amazing. It's like way better than what I thought it was going to be.
And it's fucking, everything is brand new, off the shelf, hasn't been fucked with. It's,
like yesterday.
Because it'll still be under warranty. Like if you push some drawer, you click the drawer open, something fucking falls off, you're like, hey buddy, come back here.
Yeah, and so like yesterday, my afternoon was spent like taking like packaging out of a dishwasher and our 2 ovens, which just seems outrageous. Like it was just, it's just absolutely magic. Wait, like 2 of us took a shit at the same time in different toilets. And we still had a spare toilet to take another shit.
Did you have walkie-talkies?
Yeah.
Just so you can, here's your shit going.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
pretty good.
We almost need them. Like, because it's like normally the kids just be like, Dad!
Yeah.
But they have to come find me because the screaming's not that annoying that I don't have to answer all the time. They'll come find me.
And you've got the house, for those that are unaware, is almost sectioned off into 2 different parts. Like you've got a wing, like a kid's wing.
Well, it's got Dixie's set up her office in one of the rooms. There'll be we want part of the purchase. We wanted to be able to have people over. Like it's quite a long way. Like when you guys come over, instead of having to drive all the way home, you just be able to stay. There'll be a bed for you guys and a bed for the kids, and a bunk or whatever, and the second lounge down there. It's amazing. It's sick. Anyway, so we're all moved in, fucking happy as Larry. Dixie's got to go and pick the kids up, drive back into town, because they're still going to the same school for a bit, and then the phone goes ping, and it's the real estate agent that sold our house, and she goes, oh, you've left some stuff in a drawer. And I was like, Dixie, Did you do the last sweep? And then a photo goes, bing, comes through, and it's my undie drawer. And I'm like, ooh, fuck, there's going to be a bit of a giggle here, I reckon. And so she's left. This is the new owners have taken a photo of my undie drawer, undies, socks, and shit. And do you know who used to sponsor this podcast?
Wild Secrets, a sex toy company.
So I don't know who pulled it out of all the artillery out of that drawer, but fucking hell, I hope they don't know what cock rings are.
It would have been literally just a fucking silicon treasure chest because we got sent a box that was about the same size as Showboss Teagues.
Let's just say there's not many undies and socks in my undies and socks drawer.
Oh man, that's great. So
So I'd planned on having a shower and then I would
thrashing the ass off Dixie with a whole bunch of sex toys before you left.
But then when I got out of the shower, I would have got new undies, and that was going to be the point in which I remembered. But it never ended up happening, so it slipped my mind. Dixie checked every fucking cupboard in the house except that one. So that was interesting. Anyway, so Dixie had to go and collect it from the real estate agents. They'd put it into a box. And then luckily it was auction day at the real estate agent, so that no one was stopping to talk, so she just got handed a box. So I'll find a better place for that.
Get yourself a custom. You can get yourself basically a small carry-on with locks. And that's the best because it just sits in a wardrobe or can be slid under the bed depending on what the situation is that you're running, and then have a travel case. This is adult lockpick 101 shit, because otherwise you have those real awkward situations. We've got that many because we've spoken so openly about them. We get fucking sent them on the reg.
Do you?
Yeah, and it's kind of like, have a look at it, see what you think of them. Is it something that you would use? Fucking hand it off to mates or whatever.
Send us a video review.
Yeah, it's a little bit noisy, being two-stroke, but sure does the job.
I like the extra grunt that comes with it. Petrol power.
Look, I can take it from the turtle to the river.
Anyway, that was funny.
Fuck.
And then we had I like the gifts that real estate agents give you. Oh, and how's this? The people that bought our house, they paid good money for it. They gave us a big hamper of like beers, wine. I mean, we gave them the spa pool, so maybe that was why, because it's a hell of a bonus, and the trampoline actually. But
still,
yeah, they gave us like all these like cookies and little wee muffins and fucking pineapple lumps and beers, and it was ridiculous. And then I thought it was from our real estate agent. They've got one for us as well. And then the place that we bought, that real estate agent came around in the afternoon and showed me how to work all the different shit that's in our house. I don't even know what half of it is. Yeah. I can swipe into my house with a key tag.
Sick.
Just go boop, and then the front door opens.
Have you got it on your phone? Can you do it on your phone?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't read any of the manuals. There's a fucking stack of them of shit I'm going to have to learn. We've got video intercom for the front door. Oh. So it goes into our kitchen. And then last night, and then there's like a Bluetooth fucking speakers all through the kitchen and the lounge. And so we'll listen to music and everyone's pretty happy and stuff. The kids were super excited. It was very cute. And as were we. And it was punching back a few drinks and stuff. And then Tilly, our mate Tilly, messages us because he was sorting out the internet for our place and did a sterling job. And he's just like, Dunc, this is the only time a CEO will call to make sure your connection has been hooked up. You're the first. And a couple of other things he said as well. And I was
but it plays out.
Yeah, I went bang and then played it through the fucking lounge at 800 decibels. I was like, holy shit, I can't stop it. So great afternoon, shit everywhere still, back into the houses. We're very fortunate to be able to be in the position to do a house upgrade, but I guess put a lot of fucking hard work into that reno to generate some equity to get us into this position. And this morning, seeing the ocean, like you get that every day where you are, but seeing the ocean, man, it just really calms my soul. Like seeing that this morning on the way to drop the kids off to their new school. We're walking into the new school because they're going to a Catholic school. And walking in, Frank's like, I can't believe I've got Jesus' symbol on the back of my collar. I was like, what's wrong with that? He goes, overkill. I'm like, all right, you can knock that on the head, mate. He goes, what's it? Is that? Oh, I've seen her before. And he's pointing at a massive statue of the Virgin Mary. He goes, is that Annie?
Yeah, that's pretty
I
much.
was like, no, you'll learn that stuff when you get in there, mate. So it was quite cute to see them all dressed up in the uniforms and stuff and start. That's just a day visit. They'll probably go back to another one next week. But yeah, it's all sort of happening. It feels amazing.
Mate, congrats.
Yeah, it's sick.
Celebrate the wins. This is why we do what we do.
Exactly.
To be able to afford yourself the situations and the opportunities to go and do different stuff for your family and expand and
Feels
just
like a
basically
new
be
chapter,
capitalist,
man.
be capitalist fucking pigs like the rest of the world. I've got another one. This is a David Longy.
Okay, well, hang on. Are you going to double war story? Did that first one count as a war story? What
Oh no, I'm counting these as just fucking conversations with me.
Okay.
Okay, that I'm sharing. I don't know if I'm meant to.
What a refreshing cup of Not for Radio with Jay and Dunc.
Okay, this one is from Greg Bell. We'll call him Greg Bell because that's his fucking name. Glad to hear the Moonhopper is on the improvement, mate. I've done another story from a bushfire I was at a few years ago. It's a long, but if you cooped up and need to laugh, okay, sweet. This was sent to me in hospital, so I just screenshot them. I was on fentanyl. Fuck knows what was going on. The brain was all over the joint. How are fellas and fellettes from over the ditch? Finally penned another story off the back of the cockring story a while back.
Oh, double cockring mentioned in a podcast episode.
A few years ago, I'd been chasing this fire for 14 bloody hours, and now it's 4 a.m. My throat was drier than a liver after Oktoberfest, eyes stinging like molten glass, lungs full of smoke, and I was running purely on caffeine, stubbornness, and the sheer refusal to collapse into a heap. Finally, we pull up at the control point for a break. Someone tosses me a ham and cheese toasty, limp, soggy, lukewarm, cheese sliding off like it had better things to do. But after 14 hours of hellfire, smoke, sweat, and adrenaline, Michelin-starred top-tier fine fucking dining. I nearly kissed the bloke who made it. Anywho, another story. Among us is a senior firefighter.
Another story, did.
Banged away watching the fire, the wee set. No. Among us is a senior firefighter. Nobody likes him. You know, the type that thinks he's fucking hilarious, the prank king. Reality, his jokes are weak-old horseshit, and he's a fuckwit plain and simple.
And he's a fuckwit plain and simple. Imagine being that guy.
I just realised I first and last named him, so it won't be too hard to stitch this together. Carries on like he's been doing the job for 40 fucking years, but lucky to have done 8. I fucking hate pricks like this. Anyway, loves laughing at himself, showing off, strutting around like he invented comedy, the kind of Kent who'd fart in a briefing and expect applause, smug, loud, full of himself, absolute legend in his own head. Anyway, he spotted a cooked dead tiger snake on the track. Normal person, flick it into the scrub, not him. He grins like God himself handed him a comedy license and says, this'll fuck the boys up. Drapes the snake across young Tomo's rearview mirror. This has been done more times than Bonnie Blue in previous years I had. Great reference.
Yeah.
Snake hanging there, swaying in the breeze like some nightmare air freshener straight out of a horror movie. Tomo strolls back, coffee in hand, hops in and sees it, and fuck me, he detonates. Screaming, swearing, milk spraying everywhere, legs flailing like a Tassie devil on crack. He bolts out the cab like he's just been electrocuted. The rest of us on the ground crying, laughing so hard we're inhaling dirt and probably destroying our lungs worse than the fire itself. I sort of go along with it to a point. The senior, bent double, red-faced, fucking wheezing, patting himself on the back with both hands, smug as fuck, absolutely convinced he's just pulled off the prank of the century. King of comedy, Bell End Deluxe.
Bell End Deluxe.
Yeah.
Fuckwit, plain and simple, Bell End Deluxe.
But here's where it gets interesting. Earlier in the night, I'd found a tiger snake myself. Now, Jay and Dunc, feel free to elaborate on tiger snakes. They are cancer things. Tiger snakes are fucking hectic.
They're right up there.
They're right up there. Basically a cigarette snake. You get bitten by one of these things and you're fucking in a world of trouble anyway. Barely alive, sluggish, cranky as fuck. So I left it alone until I saw him strutting, chest puff, showing off like he owned the bush. Perfect fucking opportunity. I knew I married a snake wrangler for a reason. This is for real and not the snake, Jay. I wish. Fucking married to a snake wrangler. Fuck, that must be interesting. You are...
I saw one pop up in my feed yesterday, actually. It was
The Sunshine Coast one?
the one under the wheelie bin. Do you see that one? Nah. There's one under a wheelie bin, and the dude was a python, so not that dangerous. But it was 3 meters long. He was like, holy shit. And he was like, they went and took it away and let it go in the bush. And you could just hear all the dry leaves cracking. Like, it was no way that thing could move silently through the bush because it was that big and heavy. I reckon it was about 12 kg.
Wow.
It was glorious. It was about that thick.
Yeah, because you don't think of
15
it.
centimeters across.
Those pythons, we've had this on the podcast before, and it fucking went whistling out of the bush at the dog park and chomped that fucking chihuahua, remember? Called fucking Ferrari or whatever its name was.
Popped its eyeballs out of its skull. Anyway, we digress.
Anywho.
Snakes are fucks.
Yeah, so he's found himself a tiger snake, and he knows he married a snake wrangler for a reason. So while he's basking in his glory, I quietly slipped the half-alive snake into his truck, onto the floor mat between the pedals, step back, seed planted, just wait, worth the grievance procedure, about so fucking glute. Later, he climbs in, helmet perched crookedly on his head, coffee in a hand, smug grin plastered on his face, and sees it. Alive, moving across the brake pedal and agitated. Whoa, not a fucking joke this time, is it? Chaos ensues, screams like a banshee, boots flailing, coffee fucking detonating in slow motion over the dash, milk from earlier splattered coffee everywhere, radio sliding into the void, helmet falls out the window, he's trying to karate kick the snake, tiptoe panic, all at the same fucking time. Absolute pandemonium. And then, the final insult. The snake leaves a little present on the floor mat. It actually had a shit, karma served cold. We're on the ground, crying, laughing, swearing, tears running down our faces. Tomo, sticky from the coffee, just looks at me. I nod, he gets it. I had his fucking back. Snake 1, senior prankster fucking 0. Lesson, don't fuck with a fucker, you sea hunter.
Don't fuck with a fucking...
Karma's a bitch, and tonight she rode shotgun with a tiger snake that clearly fucking hated him more than the rest of us. Cheers and beers, boys. Been here from the beginning. Up the mother heckin' wars. Jay, I hope your mango's now more of an apricot at least. Cheers, GB. GB.
That's definitely a war story.
That's magical stuff.
That's so good.
Snipers, reload. Another war story incoming. Eyes on target, scopes dialed in. Let's see who hits the mark.
What do we like for time? Let's do a real short version of this. You just go to number 7 there, Jay. This is from Mark Shaggy Williams. Ruin a movie by replacing a word in the title with wank. I'll start. 1-word film. Wank. Lock, stock, and 2 smoking wanks.
That's a great film. No, not the wank one, but it probably would make a great film.
You'd be
anyway.
into it.
Why not?
This one from Luke Galloway. Bill and Ted's Excellent Wank. Michael Barlow, The Curious Wank of Benjamin Button. Chris Bankus. Wank on a plane. Yes. What a Philip Ramika. Wank to the future. Gone in 60 wanks. Who's that? Chris Wilson. Carl Peter Markham. Forrest Wank.
Just to say, a few of these films I've had a fucking cameo in, I think.
I'll do my ones today. You can do your ones tomorrow.
Oh, perfect.
Simon Hose. Dude, where's my wank? Danny O'Brien. 007 Golden Wank. Ian Finnan. How to wank a guy in 10 days.
Oh, yes.
Oh, shit. Oh, that could be good.
It's such a simple word to replace that just absolutely unravels it, eh?
I knew I'd enjoy that. I really did. Okay.
Terminator wank.
Snipers, reload. Another war story incoming. Eyes on target, scopes dialed in. Let's see who hits the mark.
Okay. This one here is from John Michael Matson from someplace in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, have a crack at it.
South Tyneside? West Bolton is another place. Okay, anyway. Anyone ever get that feeling their better half is trying to slowly murder them?
We had someone call the show. Was it they called the show and they'd been fucking getting poisoned by Roundup?
Yeah, rat poison it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, and coffee every morning. Fucking hell.
I'll start. It's a bit of a David Longy, so bear with me. For me, it started 18 years ago. At the time, we'd been together for 7 years. I was working as a bus driver, and it was a job I came to thoroughly despise. I'd been driving for about 3.5, 4 years, and I was in a horrible place mentally. The job was grinding me down, the shift patterns were shit, the management was shit, and the general public was shit. I fucking hated it. At this point, I didn't know just how much it was affecting me. As a result, my mood and energy were at an all-time low. I'd come home and would be fucking miserable, and it was taking its toll on my missus. We seemed to be constantly arguing about one thing or another, and most of the time it was something really trivial, but because of the slump I was in, it was always blown way out of proportion. I'd go to work full of hell because things were shit at home as well. Then I'd have a shit shift, go home full of hell because things were at work were shit. The
poor
old
bastard.
vicious cycle. It was all consuming. I couldn't see what was causing it at the time. Anyway, during one of these arguments over nothing, I was sitting down doing some work on my computer after having a blazing row when she came over and put a cup of tea down on my desk. Uh-oh. And a very calm voice saying, "Here's a cup of tea for you." A far cry from the raised, angry voice from the argument just before. I was a little suspicious, but I drank it anyway, because I love tea. Within minutes, I felt a twingling in my cheek, my gums and tongue. The best way I could describe it, it was like the feeling you get after a dental anesthetic starts to wear off. I took another sip, but I noticed I couldn't feel the hot liquid in my mouth. I asked what she'd put in my tea, and she replied in an innocent, almost sarcastic tone, nothing? I started to panic and was accusing her of poisoning me, which she completely denied. I left the rest of the tea and went to get ready for work. Nothing more happened, but the tingling continued. I tried to ignore it. As my shift went on, the tingling started to intensify, but I carried on. I'd completed my first run into town and had a 15-minute layover until my next run back up the other way. I popped to a shop for a bottle of pop and some chewing gum. When I jumped back on the bus, I had a little bit of difficulty opening my cab door with my right hand, but not with the left. Odd, I thought. But hopped in the cab and popped the gum in my mouth. I was sitting reading a book while I waited and was chewing away when I realised I couldn't taste the mint flavour, but I could taste blood. Oh. I dabbed my mouth and sure enough I was bleeding and the chewing gum wasn't in my mouth anymore. I checked my mouth in the mirror and I'd bitten my tongue. Didn't feel a thing. Then I noticed the ball of chewed up chewing gum in my chest pocket of my shirt. It must have just fallen out. I started to get a bit worried and confused. I took a drink of pop to rinse away the blood, but as it tipped into my mouth, it all just dribbled out and down my shirt. Fuck! I looked in the mirror again. It looked like one side of my face was starting to droop and sag. I touched the droopy side but couldn't feel anything either with my fingers or my face. I'd just done a first aid refresher a few weeks earlier and the emphasis been on strokes and what action to take. Fuck me! I'm 27 and I'm having a stroke on a bus by myself!
Shit.
I picked up the radio and hit the emergency call to the control room and tried to tell them that I'm having a stroke. But all that came out of my mouth was, "Adrian!" from Rocky or something along those lines. I managed to convey my message as best I could, and the response was, "If you feel well enough, you can drive the bus out of service back to the depot and get yourself to a hospital." That was the piss-poor level
How
of
the
management
fuck
compassion
is-
towards staff that I was up against. I was 100% convinced now that my missus had put poison in my cuppa. I went to the hospital that evening, and while sitting there drooling all over myself in the waiting room, I was trying to piece together the events that had led me up until this point. My missus, let's call her something, because that's
That's
her
your
name.
fucking name.
Let's not call her by her fucking name. Has been watching a lot of true crime things lately. A lot of How to Get Away with Murder programs and a lot of prison shows. I've been a horrible, miserable prick for a long time, so I'm thinking she's getting ideas on how to finish me off and make it look natural.
Wow.
She's worked out what clues forensics look for and the prison programs are safe, if they are safe, just in case she gets caught and needs to know how to become a top dog in jail. That's it. She's been planning this for a while now. Now, I'm wondering, do I say anything to the doc when I go in? But she's right there with me, so I don't know.
Shit.
I ask her one last time, did you put something in my tea? And it's a resolute no. And I kind of believe her, but it's still a very heavy coincidence that this started right after I drank the tea that she made, right off the back of a massive fight. I get called in, and after a few tests confirmed it's not a stroke. And I joke about it being poison. Turns out I'd had an attack of Bell's palsy that was brought on by stress. I'm glad to report that me and Neela are still together 25 years deep in love. I left the buses not long after this event. I'd gone on sick leave with stress as part of the occupational health recommendations. I'd been referred to a psychiatrist to talk through my issues, and we came to the realization that the job fucking sucked, and that was the underlying problem. I took a medical redundancy and walked away, never looking back. We still joke about the time that Neela poisoned me. She assured me that if and when my death at her hands comes, it would be in a violent, frenzied attack, and I can confirm that while things are amazing for us now, I have tested her theory to the very fucking limit, and I know it's going to be a brutal death if I manage to push her over the edge. Sorry it's so long-winded, but if you've got this far, I look forward to hearing it, and hopefully I'm not alone. Unreal.
Fucking well done. Man, that's crazy.
One of our managers in Christchurch, which is in the bottom island of New Zealand, he had that. And you have to, 9 times out of 10, I think your face starts working again, you look all normal and shit. But yeah, your whole face just starts drooping off your head. It's amazing how much work your muscles doing to make you not look tardy, eh?
Yeah, I think we mentioned it on a previous podcast as well, where the boys were all out for a dive out off the Coromandel coast, and he was underwater and just started leaking through his rig and was like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, my face is going a bit fucking tingly. And so he popped back up onto the boat, did his decompressions, popped back up onto the boat, and was just sitting there waiting for the other divers to come up. He's like, I'm fucking peeling out, see you later. So the other boys bagged out and then came up, and by the time they got onto the boat, he was fucking looking like he was about to drop, and they came up, and he was just having a beer and just fucking pouring it in, and it's going out the side of his mouth, and they're like, what the fuck is going on? He's like, what are you talking about? And they're like, your face is like fucking dropped
melting
because there's no mirrors
Steven
on the
Tyler, did you stand too close to the to the flame?
Yeah, and so they're like, fuck, you're having a stroke. And so same thing, they just fucking pinned it. And so to get into the boat ramp at Whangamata where they were, it might have been Pauanui, one of the ones anyway. It's basically 5 knots for fucking ages to get in there. You basically motor in at 5 knots for ages. And they were just fucking tapped, like ambulance waiting at the boat ramp for them. They'd already called ahead. They're like, we're fucking pinning it back. And everyone's like going, fuck you, wankers, for just boosting through basically like a swimming lineup. Fucking full noise. Everyone's taking pictures, swearing at them, whatever it was. They just came ripping into the boat ramp, just fucking smashed it up against the thing. Ambulance was there, and same thing, yeah, Bell's palsy. And now he's sweet. But he's a young buck too.
Oh, it'd be so scary. So scary.
Yeah, and he was under the pump. It was like a real busy end of year, finishing as a builder, finishing like 6 different jobs, and like 2 days before, did a massive concrete pour, and the foundation or the form molding, whatever it was, just fucking blew out, and he lost like 6 cubes of fucking concrete into this place. So it was a fuck up nightmare scenario, and yeah, so that's basically what pushed him over the edge. And so just need a little bit of a chill out. I'll go for a fucking dive with the boys.
So scary. So scary. Hey, we've had heaps of messages from new people that have become Sniper Elite. So if that is you,
cheers.
Welcome to the top brass. And if you're new to the podcast, also welcome. Heaps of people have been climbing on board. The numbers have gone through the roof recently, especially in Australia. So welcome. Hopefully you're enjoying the podcast. There's plenty to get back through. There's about 250 episodes if you peel through those. And we kind of have, it doesn't matter where you start listening. None of these episodes are super topical, so you can just sort of rip into wherever. That's sort of how we design the podcast on purpose. Yeah.
So the theory behind that is that there's nothing more punishing when you pick up. I mean, obviously we've got isms like when you say your name because that's your fucking name, and we say up the wahs, and there'll be a whole bunch of little of those bits and pieces that people will pick up on as they listen to more. But for the most part, we wanted it to be, because selfishly, when we turn up to something or when we're listening to something, I don't want to know the whole fucking backstory. I don't need to have listened to the last 17 fucking episodes for this to make sense.
Yeah.
I just want to turn up, I want to laugh, I want to be in and out in sort of 30 to 40 minutes and be done with it. And that's sort of what the model was. And just once again, if you've only just joined us, you'll notice that the level of war stories and the way that people write, like there is not a more elite group of individuals in one space. Like, we've heard everything that there is to hear. Well, so we thought. And fuck me, I laugh every single day we do this. Every single time.
It really is. So, yeah, like we say, thank you very much if you are new. We appreciate you for spending some time with us. If you do want to support us, best way is to become Sniper Elite so we can continue doing this style of content. And then it also unlocks ad-free and about double the episodes. Well, it is double the episodes.
And it's also on YouTube if you're just one of those people that likes to watch it. Like fucking 50% of the people that consume this podcast.
Have a ripping rest of your Thursday. Go well, go long.
Pulling up the Waz this weekend against the
Waz.
Panthers.
Playoffs, baby.
Oh, this is just lovely.